Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is June 9, 2021, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching oil break through $70 a barrel for the first time since pre-pandemic. But first, looking at the major economic events of the day, just one event coming out at 4 p.m. South African time out of Canada. We have a Bank of Canada rate statement. That's an important number. But first, looking at the various markets, it's a lot of light volume, which means that the markets are really much unchanged. So starting out with the Forex symbols, really unchanged, very, very tight range. In the indices as well, NASDAQ and the Dow Jones trading in a really tight range. Oil breaking to new record highs, so that's some activity there. And gold pretty much unchanged as well. Now, in terms of the stocks, Facebook hit new record highs the previous day and kind of tapering off from it. But we're going to take a look at that. Possibly it'll have another run because oil is pushing to new record highs. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, it sells off but makes a comeback. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So in this type of environment, okay, where you have the Euro USD trading in a 10 pip to 15 pip range. Okay, you can see that right there. We're looking at a 4-hour chart. That's not tradable. Okay, for all intents and purposes, that's really not tradable. If you look 5 minutes, you know, that's going from 121.84 down to 121.72. That's almost impossible. Okay, that's 12 pip range. Not really, you know, tradable, to tell you the truth. So don't focus on this. What you should focus in, okay, for example, the USD CAD, all right, it has flatline at this 4-hour chart. Now, this is really important because when we, on a 4-hour chart, it's meaningless, right? Because it's trading between 121.057 and 121.51. That's a 6 pip range. However, looking at a weekly, this is where it gets really important. We're at that threshold of 120.69. Now, 120.69 is really an important level because that was a previous support level back in 2017, which is 4 years ago. Okay, so if we have some positive news out of Canada, and this does break, okay, and it breaks to the downside, meaning the Canadian dollar gets stronger, we could see it possibly back down to this 111-ish level, which would be a tremendous comeback for the Canadian dollar, okay? Or it may make a correction today and then bounce to 124 possibly, okay? So you want to keep this on the radar because we're really at an important threshold with the Canadian dollar right now. Jumping into oil. Very interesting, trading at $70.37. Now, you can't see it on this chart because it's a futures chart, but the last time we were here was pre-pandemic at $70 a barrel. So this is really colossal, kind of showing you that the markets are starting to open over the summer in the northern hemisphere where we're anticipating a lot of traveling. So that is really what's being focused here and why it's contributing to this gain in the price of oil. Now, this is going to affect the Dow Jones because every time oil goes up, the Dow Jones generally goes up. So I'm waiting to see if this will finally wake itself up above this 34,625, which we're about, 45 points just below it. This is, for all intents and purposes, had sideline. I mean, if we look at a 15-minute chart, I mean, besides these two like wash, flash sell off and then buy off and whatever you want to call this, besides that, we've been really flatlining here. Okay, it's summer trading. It's the middle of June. Okay, very indicative of this type of time of the year. Okay, if we look at the NASDAQ also, very choppy. Okay, we haven't been in this type of choppiness in quite some time where we're just trading within a certain range and not breaking above it on either side. This is really respective of the major stocks because if we look at Amazon, really trading just in a tight range. If we look at Microsoft also, I mean, you could pretty much see that it's been between 261 and 245-ish level. Facebook did make new record highs the other day and does look like it wants to go higher. And that's why it's becoming a little bit interesting on the upside. So I would keep an eye on this today to see if we get that second push higher. Okay, possibly challenging that high again. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, okay, look at this. We're looking at a daily chart. We had a massive sell-off yesterday down to $30,000, 30,700-ish level, and we made a comeback, okay? That's very important, and it's on decent volume. So it looks like we're bottoming out on the price of Bitcoin, okay, for now. Okay, we've tested the lows of 30,000 now several times, and every time it's resilient and making it back. I'm not saying that it might not break lower, but to start building a position on this lower range might not be so irresponsible at these levels. Now, you do want to keep a tight stop loss, but just realize that you're not being completely irresponsible if you do, because it does look like it's flattening out. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.